Have I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? What he's saying is something's changed there. To start with, you considered me God's messenger. To start with, it was as though you were listening to Jesus Christ. You would have plucked your own eyes out to give them to me. But I started telling you the truth, and you're starting to say, I don't know if I'm going to go that far or not. And Paul wasn't satisfied just to get them in. He wanted to get them on. He weren't just interested in new birth. He was interested in maturity. He weren't just interested in partial obedience. He was interested in full obedience. And it was almost like, you're asking too much. Wow. And then he begins to talk about somebody coming in and interfering. He now brings in a third party. And he says, they zealously court you, but for no good. Who's he talking about? Legalizers, legalists. They want to exclude you, get you away from the influence of my ministry, that you may be zealous for them. It's what a legalist will do. Boy, I have nothing to do with that crowd over there. What you need to do is come and follow us. Exclude you from the people who brought you to Christ. Wow. But it is good to be zealous, and a good thing always, and not only when I'm present with you. And now here's the key. My little children, for whom I labor in birth again until Christ is formed in you. Here's what he's saying. I'm telling you, this thing is working me so much. There's a travail in me. I feel like as though I'm a pregnant woman. And I know what you women are saying. You men can't say that. You don't have a clue. But he said, I feel like something's got to be born out of this. And what I want to be born out of this is a child that reaches maturity. My little children, for whom I labor in birth again until Christ is formed in you. I would like to be present with you now and change my tone. But I have doubts about you. Well, for the last 3 weeks, this pastor has talked about his desires for the people. I don't think in 20 years I've been your pastor, I've ever been more intentional and more focused. I have told you that if there were one thing and one only I desire of you, that is that you be a worshiper of God. Worship God. Number 2, love others. Number 3, serve God. And number 4, invite others. So our intentional means of helping you mature. There's 2 words been in my heart this week. I want to help every member under the banner of the First Baptist Church of Woodstock, not only to mature, but to stabilize in your Christian walk. Now, Paul had this same desire in each of his churches and each of the children that was born under his ministry. He said in Colossians 1:28, him we preach, Jesus, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom. Why? That we may present every man, there's the word, perfect in Jesus Christ. To the end I also labor, striving according to his working, which works in me mightily. God's working in me mightily, and with the energy God's working in me, I'm using that energy to help y'all grow up and mature in the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, I find the word perfect there interesting. It is a word that is pronounced teleos. It is a derivative of the word tetelestai. It signifies having reached its end, finished, complete, perfect. The word speaks primarily of physical development. Is that not the desire of every mom and dad here, that God not only give you a baby? There's women in this service right now that are great with child. You are saying right now, sometimes I don't care whether it's a boy or girl, I just want it to be healthy. You don't want it just to be healthy. You want it to stay healthy. You want it to mature. You want that child to develop. One of the things we've been watching in the news lately is that boy that now is about a teenager, but he's about the size of a 3-year-old. They have stunted his growth, and what we're saying is, God forbid, at the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ, the last thing we want to do is stunt anybody's growth, but instead we want you to reach full development. We want teleos to be a reality in your life. We want you fully matured. It is a derivative of the word that is used in John chapter 19 and verse 30, where when the Lord Jesus Christ, you know how important this word is? In his 6th saying on the cross, he said, it is finished. He used that one word to describe those 3 English words, tetelestai. He was saying, what I've done is finished. It is a consummation. Nothing can be added to it. Paul said, I'd like to see you grow to the place in your Christian life that there's not one single thing that you were in need of. Wow.